Before we jump into the episode today, I want to share something with you from my heart. First of all, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really can't tell you how much your support means to me. We've been doing the podcast now for almost 4 years. I can't even believe it. And I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you that listens, shares an episode with your friends, sends me a DM or a text message letting me know how an episode resonated with you or any aha moments. Seriously, I couldn't be more grateful to be able to create this podcast. It has been such a blessing in my life, and I love hearing the ways it's been able to provide value in yours as well. One thing you might not know is how much work it takes to be consistent with a podcast. In fact, did you know that the majority of podcasts don't make it past episode number 10? And we are well beyond that. And it's just a lot thinking of the episodes, recording them, editing them, managing the guests, making sure that everything runs smoothly and gets uploaded consistently and regularly. And so that's why I have created an amazing opportunity for you to support the podcast monetarily. And in exchange for that, you will get exclusive premium subscriber content. So for as little as $3 a month, you can become a premium subscriber of the podcast. And every month I will upload new voice-guided workouts and breathwork meditation audio for you. So that way you can work out with me, coaching you in your ears. You can also take a moment to reduce your stress and relax and come down and ground down with one of my breathwork audios. So if that is on your heart to support the podcast for as little as $3 a month to become a premium podcast subscriber, I can't tell you how much that means to me and the growth of this podcast. I appreciate you. If you're interested, click the link in the description, become a premium podcast subscriber, new content every month, and while supplies last, I'll send you an exclusive podcast coffee mug so you can have your self-love and sweat coffee every morning. I appreciate you. Now let's get into the show. Welcome to Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast, the place where you'll get inspired to live your life unapologetically, embrace your perfect imperfections, break down barriers, and do what sets your soul on fire. I'm your host, Lunden Souza. Hey friend, it's me, Lunden Souza, online lifestyle transformation coach. I help people all over the world just like you who know they are meant for more, get their mind right and their body tight, and go from crazy busy to crazy happy. And hey, if it's our first time meeting, welcome. So happy to have you. And if you've been with us for a while, it's so great that you're here too. I'm really excited to share this episode of the Self-Love and Sweat podcast with you. Hey, I have a super exciting announcement. I have goosebumps and I'm a little bit sweaty as I'm excited to tell you that VIP All Access registration has reopened for Strong at Home for Women. We're super excited to welcome a brand new group of women who are ready to get strong at home from the inside out and are ready to say, hey, I'm not trying to do this alone. I need accountability. I need consistency. I need a plan of action, and I need that support. And we're just super pumped to let you know that on February 14th, we're going to reopen Strong at Home for Women for VIP All Access registration. And it's going to be at the all-time low price of just $99, friends, for 8 weeks of coaching, a ton of Zoom chats, an exclusive Slack group, and a lot of support from both myself and my co-coach, Ella Caggiano. So from there, you just have a week to take advantage of that early bird pricing, and then it's going to go up to $159. So you don't want to miss out on that, right? And signups officially close on March 1st. Okay. We get started on Monday, March 8th, and we want to make sure that you guys take advantage of early bird pricing because we're doing something brand new that we've never done before. Both Ella and I are opening up our calendars exclusively for you women in the Strong at Home for Women program. we have added these optional add-ons for you to get some one-on-one customized coaching on Zoom with myself and with Ella to work on things like nutrition, your personalized schedule. Maybe you want to do some personal training and check in on your exercise form. We want to make time available for you. And we have these optional add-ons at an all-time low price. They are super affordable and they are not available to anybody else. We are opening our time and we are giving you this super affordable option because we love you guys and we want to see you succeed. So when you take advantage of Early Bird, that means you also have the option to get your add-ons first and get your appointments first because they will fill up. We don't have a ton of time, just the two of us. We're going to come together and figure out which days work best, and we're going to open up a few hours a week for you guys. Okay. So that's going to fill up super fast. So mark your calendar. Strong at Home for Women opens on Valentine's Day, right? Better than flowers and it will not die, right? The gift that keeps on giving. Strong at Home for Women, Early Bird, VIP All Access. You do not want to miss out, friends, for an 8-week opportunity to absolutely change your life. And if you've joined us the first time, whether it was with the plan only or you joined us VIP All Access, we have a follow-up 8-week plan for you so that you guys will literally know exactly how to structure your workout plan to get the results that you want for the rest of your life. And you don't have to do it alone. We're right by your side every step of the way. Go to lifelikeLondon.com/strong at home. All the details will be in the description. And don't forget to snag your spot to absolutely transform your life and get strong from the inside out. Okay, so have you ever tried to take a shot of apple cider vinegar in the morning and you just tried to like it, but you cannot even, right? So you are not alone. And I found this amazing supplement from Snap Supplements. They're actually apple cider vinegar gummies, and they're with the mother as well as real pomegranate and beet juice. They offer digestion support, they promote immune health, and help maintain healthy weight. And I've been sharing them with my family, and my brother loves them and the way that they taste, and he's super picky. So you can just take 2 gummies in the morning and it's like you're taking an apple cider vinegar shot, except for you don't feel like you're gonna gag. I feel you there. And the cool thing is that I have a discount code for you, 10% off with discount code Lunden10. And I also really love their BCAAs with nitric oxide booster. It's so amazing for muscle strength and recovery. I drink them before my workout, during my workout, or in the afternoon if I feel like I want a little something in my water and I have some cravings, but I know I'm not really hungry, And so this is an awesome supplement to support quick recovery, help with maximum strength and replenishing and hydrating your body. And I really love the pomegranate watermelon flavor, but the peach mango is super bomb too. So you can decide which one sounds best for you, but 10% off. You can go to snapsupplements.com/Lunden10. And when you go there, it'll automatically take that 10% off for you at checkout, but the code is Lunden10. And here's a little secret I have for you. For all of you that are in my group coaching or one-on-one coaching programs, it doesn't matter. I have a 30% off code for you. So for those of you that work with me and you're in my coaching programs, I love to give you guys more and give you guys extra bonuses there. So I have a code with your name on it. As soon as you sign up for any of my group coaching or one-on-one coaching, you'll always get the top discounts of the top things that I love, right? I'm obsessed with finding the best of the best to offer to you guys. And I know you guys are really going to love the apple cider vinegar gummies and the BCAAs with nitric oxide booster. So enjoy that. Lunden10 for 10% off. And for those of you that join my programs, look forward to 30% off. Now for today's episode. Today we are talking about time and time management and planning your day and setting yourself up for success, setting yourself up to deliver, serve with excellence, execute, but not feel like you're trying to do all the things and doing the most and not somewhat enjoying the process, right? Or I should say, like, enjoying the majority of the process. And so one of the things that I love to work with my VIP one-on-one coaching clients on is getting more done in less time. Now, does that mean that they're able to get everything done a lot faster? Does that mean I magically grant them more hours in a day? Of course not. But learning how to get the things done that need to get done, the things that are going to matter the most, learning how to maximize your time even further. And yeah, feeling like at the end, you're making much greater progress and bigger leaps and bounds towards where you want to go and towards your goals, right? And so I want to share with you guys some tips that I have that have worked incredibly in my life as well as for my clients. And you can start them today. You can literally start them today. It's just, it's literally just a matter of doing the thing, right? Going after it and saying like, okay, of all the things that Lunden talks about today, which I would really advise you take notes. These are the things I can start today or tomorrow, or I'm going to tackle this week. And then from, 1 or 2 weeks later, whatever time limit you set for yourself, then you're going to try the next thing, right? Because this is really not something where it's like I'm giving you the magic formula and the magic calendar and you just stamp it in your life and then it automatically works, right? There is definitely some customization and some excavation that needs to be done on your part in order to make that work, right? So the first thing that's going to be super important is really like having clarity. That why is going to be nuzzled in there as well. And I talk about that why a lot, but having clarity of what you want to get done and what you, like in your time, in the time that you have, having a lot of clarity surrounding, okay, what's my mission? What are my goals? What matters to me right now? What's going to make the biggest impact, in my life and in the lives of others? What am I going after? So that way, we know the destination, then it's like, okay, now we know, we might not know exactly how to get there at the moment, but we know more or less, okay, this is going to, go for it. This is going to help me with my goals. This is not going to. And that's the whole journey is figuring out, okay, does this align with my goals and mission? Is this, continuing to seek that clarity and being like, okay, I want to do this, but do I just want to do this? Or am I trying to do all the things? Am I doing the most or am I, headed in the right direction? And continuing to revisit that is really important. And so if you just go gung ho trying to do all the things without a clear vision, it's going to be really challenging for you to decipher, okay, is this going in the direction or is this not? And this is something that even as, high performers and people who want to show up and serve with excellence continue on a regular basis to seek that clarity. And that's been studied. You can read that in a great book called High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. I'll put the link in the show notes. And it's just super great because it's just a reminder that like, okay, just because you set a goal doesn't mean that you don't need to continuously go back to it and look at it and revise it and say like, okay, is this the direction I want to go? Am I seeing it clearly? Are we still going? Are we on the right track? How are we moving? All those different types of things are going to be really, really important because the more clarity you have there, the more clear it is where you need to spend your time. Okay. The more clarity you have on your goals and dreams, the clearer it is on where you need to spend your time. And it's very clear where you should be spending your time, right? And you're like, okay, this is the direction I want to go. Is this conducive to where I want to go? And even deeper, is this, conducive to the person that I want to be and how I want to show up? Are these the things that this person would do if I'm going after these goals and I have this desired outcome? Is that in line and congruent with how I want to show up? Those are all very important and powerful questions for sure. So seeking that clarity is really, really crucial and really important and continuing to do that on a regular basis for sure. So when it comes to managing your time, sometimes people just say like, I don't have time. And I look at their calendar and I'm like, okay, I don't see anything in your calendar. I don't see even time blocked out for like a time management course to help you get better at managing your time. Do you know what I mean? So if it's not on the calendar and you're not making time for it, it's not going to get done. You're not going to show up for it and you're not going to make progress in that area. So what's first and foremost is going to be, if you want to get your workout in, if you want to make time for meal prep, whatever that might be, even just like more time with your family, cutting off setting hard deadlines at the end of your day to get certain things done, to have more time here or there, it starts in your calendar. You're going to have to block it off. You're going to have to write it down. You're going to have to plan it out. Book it like a meeting. Book it like you would with one of your clients or coworkers or whatever that might look like. And you're not going to bail out on them. And I know that you've probably heard this analogy time and time again, like put it in your calendar. It's just as important, all the things, but it's the truth. And when it's there, that doesn't mean it can't be manipulated, or, I can't tell you how many times I've put my workout maybe in the morning, or I've put it, maybe at a lunchtime, but things have changed. And I'm like, okay, I need to go back to the calendar, back to the drawing board, move things around a little bit. I might not be able to do the workout exactly when I scheduled, but it's there. So I know to move it. I know where I can move things around and make it happen. Sometimes I might need to shorten it a little bit. Sometimes I'll break it up into a 30-minute walk here and then 30 minutes of strength training here. But it all starts with the planning and actually putting that in your calendar. I like to do Google Calendars, but I also use my high performance planner, which I'll also link in the show notes. It is a companion planner to that book, High Performance Habits, which I absolutely love and find fascinating. And that planner I use on a day-to-day basis. I write down more details about what's going on in my calendar. And I do something in that planner on paper called block time, but you could easily do this in your online calendar as well. But I'll talk about that in a second. So get it in your calendar. Super important. Whatever you want to get done, it needs to be in your calendar. You need to be working towards it 60% of the time, I would say 4 out of 7 days a week, blocking out time to get better in that area, showing up for your workouts, showing up to learn that new thing, showing up to, practice that new skill. You're definitely going to have to show up for it. So put it in your calendar, block out time there. And when you're seeking that clarity and putting things in your calendar, there's going to be things you have to say no to. There's going to be things you have to weed out in order to make time for other things. And that's where, the hard part comes in, because it's we don't want to weed things out. We don't want to say no. We don't want to ruffle our feathers. We don't want to stir our own pot. We don't want to mess up our schedule. But hello, honey, that's what we got to do. We definitely have to do that. You have to move things around and, take ownership there if you really want to get more done in less time and have more time to do the things that you love, for sure. Another point I want to talk about is when you're setting up your calendar and then you're okay, what should I add in? Am I going to work out, X amount days per week, maybe 3, maybe 4, kind of what does that look like? I always say start medium and work your way up or down. Okay. So you don't want to have 10 things on your to-do list, but some days maybe you can do one thing, but I'm pretty sure you can do somewhere in between. Push your limits, get out of your comfort zone a little bit, force yourself to have to set up more boundaries and say no to certain things in order to fight for some of those things to get done in the direction of your goals. But you know yourself. And so, start smallish, start medium and work your way up or down. And that's really, it's really up to where kind of you are of what's really going to be medium. If you've never, ever, ever worked out before, medium might be 1 workout a week and 2 walks. Because you could do 1 workout a week, but couldn't you fit in some more walks if you just weaseled it in a little bit, got 10,000 steps on those 2 days or whatever, and then work your way from there. So think about okay, this is what would come naturally. This is what I would normally jump right into. And how can I do a little bit more? And then that way you can work your way up or down. Okay. I really want people to fight for their boundaries from the beginning. So I don't want to be okay, well, just, squeeze it in wherever. It's no, where do we need to find time and kind of set things up? Sometimes it's that easy where we're oh, there's time here and here, boom, boom, but it's not always the case there. So start medium and work your way up or down. When it comes time to managing your time and getting things like that done, you want to, set up your day and make it very clear of what you want to get done for that day. What do you want to accomplish? Not all the things, right? But those clear things. I never do more than 3 ever. So get those down. But if you're okay, Lunden, 3 feels like a million. Or if you're no, I get 3 things done and I have room for a couple more, then start medium and work your way up there. But don't try to like overcommit and do all the things. That's just super, super important there from the beginning. We want to have wins. So yeah, if it takes a couple days of just, or even a couple weeks of just doing like one thing just to get those wins under your belt, okay, go for it. Own it. But in my experience and with coaching and things like that, it's more than one. It's that little extra, right? That medium space where you're like, okay, I want to feel the waters, but I want to feel successful, but I want to like put some effort. I want to put some skin in the game, right? So start medium and then you can kind of wiggle around from there. Block time is the next thing I want to talk to you about. I block out time for two reasons. I like to use block time, which is basically like I literally draw a block around a certain amount of time frame, like a certain time segment in my planner, and I write block 1, block 2. So I set up my calendar, I look at my Google Calendar, I see where all my meetings and things are. I go to my high performance planner, I put those meetings in there, and then I make squares and boxes around the time that I do have. And I'm like, okay, block 1, 2 hours, block 2, an hour and a half, block 3. And I just kind of look for those times and blocks of time where I'm going to get things done. And I write in there, I either do it two ways. I'm like, okay, I'm going to write in this, I'm going to use this block time to get, make as much progress as I possibly can. So I use block time to really knock out a big chunk of work, to like knock down a bunch of dominoes. And I'll set a timer for like 2 hours and I'll just try to eliminate, access to my phone, shut down all the tabs, just get what needs to be done. And then afterwards I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, what did I get done in 2 hours? Like I'll give myself a little bit of like a check, like a little progress report there. Okay, Lunden, what were you able to get done in that 2 hour time frame when you were really focused? And usually it's a lot more than we think. And for me, that always makes me feel good. Like, dang girl, like you crushed it. 2 hours, you got this done. You like nailed it. You don't have to worry about this for the next couple weeks. Or sometimes it's like even a matter of a couple months worth of work, especially in online business. A couple hours worth of work, especially in online business, covers you for like a month or 2 months, just depending on what you're working on. So when you're really focused and laser focused, that helps a lot. So I use block time to really knock out a big chunk of work, but then I also use block time to kind of light a fire under my ass a little bit to get shit done, So like if I have 30 minutes and I'm like, okay, I have this 30-minute block. I've already eaten lunch or a meal or whatever. So I don't really need to use this time to like block out for a meal, which I do that too, because some days get, full and I want to make sure I make that time to sit down and enjoy at least like 2 of my meals a day. Sometimes I'm like on the phone eating something, but I try not to do that a ton. But let's say I have like a 30-minute block and I'm like, okay, Lunden, you're going to use this time, block 2, 30 minutes to do emails or to clean out. I have this basket that I use where I put like receipts and different things that I need to get organized. And so I will sometimes say like, okay, 30 minutes, ready, set, go, get done as much as you can. So that way it's like, we can check emails and then be like looking somewhere else and checking our phone and not really focused, and I find that, I get a ton of emails and I want to get back to people and I want to make sure that I get to everybody's questions and comments and, I just love it. You guys respond to my newsletters and all the things. And I just want to get back in a timely manner and offer support there. So yeah, I make myself do that in a shorter amount of time, right? I'm not going to be like 2 hours to answer, in things I know that I can just focus on and get done quickly. So block time's really powerful for that. With that being said, when I'm adding block time to my calendar, I'm also putting little moments or marking little moments where I can say like, okay, reset and, make sure that when you're going from point A to point B, you use these 5 or 10 minutes to like get up, get some water, use the bathroom, stand up, move your hips, dance a little bit, so that way, and even like give some gratitude, say a little prayer, thank God that I'm alive, thanking God for helping me, because some days it's just like, oh my gosh, you're just rolling with the punches, go, go, go. And I don't want to get to the end of the day. I really, really try not to. I'm intentional about this. I don't want to get to the end of the day being like, oh my God, what did I do? And it went by so fast that I didn't even take a moment to like give thanks or to connect with my breath and come back to what really matters and what's really important, which is the present moment and not always like the next thing. So making sure that you set times in your calendar, and I'll do that in my phone too. Like I'll set my alarm in my phone for every hour or two, just as a reminder to set a little bit, like to reset a little bit, to bring some intention, to bring some, gratitude back to the moment. That's really, really powerful as well, because I'm not trying to get you guys to do more in less time and get it done faster and consistently with no breaks. Well, consistently, yes, but not like faster and longer and no breaks and just go after it and hustle. And like, no, I really want you guys to appreciate the moment and appreciate the time that you're crushing it, right? It's not always like that. And we have to, have our tribe around us to really bring us back to how awesome we're really freaking doing sometimes. So take those moments to appreciate the journey along the way, and using our smartphone is a great tool. You can do so many things with it, like set random alarms that remind you that you're crushing it, that you're doing amazing, to be here now, to be present. I often tell my clients, what are your 3 words that represent how you want to show up in the world? And for me, mine are positive, present, and barrier breaker. And I just set that as an alarm in my phone. And just let it remind me to reset and to bring some intention back into my day. And that really helps a lot, because I feel like when we try to do all the things on certain days and not have any breaks, then there's like other extremes on certain days where we're just like distracted all the time. So I feel like if we can proactively bring in, that centeredness and a little, pat on the back for ourselves, that it really helps with that consistency and showing up there, at least a lot better, a lot more intentional, a lot more present. And that's what I'm here for. I love it. And then for those of you who are listening and you're like, okay, but like, you don't understand, Lunden, I appreciate your tips, but you still don't understand. I don't have time. That sounds nice, but no. And it's not going to work for me. And my next step would be, or my next, suggestion for everybody, to be honest, we all need this. And I do this myself too, but it's like time audit yourself. Write down, what are you doing with your time? Be very specific. How much time are you spending distracted, comparing on social media, opening up a bunch of random tags and online shopping and meaningless things just to make you feel a certain, like, seriously, what are you doing with your time? And when I have people do that, it's like, oh, I spend a lot of time distracted, like not really sure what to start next. I spend a lot of time like doing all the things for everybody else and never doing anything for me. And how do I expect to feel good? How do you expect to feel good if you're not even, charging your batteries at all, right? So time auditing is major, right? And so just to circle back a little bit, making sure you seek clarity on a regular basis. What are your goals? What are you going after? Where's the destination? Where's the destination? Where's the destination? Checking the route, right? And making sure that you are clear with that and that you have a mission and a why that you're really willing to go to bat for, and to say things like, oh my gosh, the magic, 2-letter scariest word ever for some people. And I get it, no, to say that so that you have more time for the things that, when you say yes to those, are going to get you more in the direction of where you say you're going to be. So get a lot of clarity on your goals, how you want to show up in the world, so that way you can really have actions and habits that are in congruence with that are congruent with that. Start medium, get out of your comfort zone a little bit and work your way up or down. Give yourself some wiggle room there. But push yourself just a tiny bit extra. I like to do that. Block time. 2 types of block time: to really knock out a big chunk of work, or to just kind of light your fire a little bit and just kind of get something done, knock something out, a task that's important that just needs to get done quickly without any distractions, right? And then making sure that you schedule time in those blocks to be thankful, to reset a little bit, to, bring some intention back to the day. Very important. And then time audit yourself. Chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. Literally, like, check your time. What are you doing? Are you giving it away to everybody else and then complaining that you don't have it? Gone are the days. We really need to take ownership of how we're showing up in the world and understand that when we take care of ourselves, that ripple effect and that impact is even better. I kid you not. And so when it comes to managing your time, I want to hear from you. I want to know how these tips have helped you. Great resources, like I mentioned, are High Performance Habits, the book, and then also the High Performance Planner. I love it. Share with me your calendaring details, making sure that you schedule time for the things that you want to make progress in. And if I was to look at your calendar, I should see it there. I should see it there consistently. Okay, it should be there waiting for you, just like any other meeting, just like any other important thing, right? Super, super important. So I love you guys a ton. I want to see you make progress. I want to see you succeed. Let me know if this episode was valuable to you. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, hit reply to any of the emails. For those of you that are on my newsletter, if you're not, pick up something free. You can find something free in the description here on this podcast. And I just can't wait to get to know you more and more. If you're new, or even if you've been around for a while, our coaching group coaching groups and my VIP coaching program, we're growing and growing and growing. And it's so great to hear from people who are like, oh, I've been listening to your podcast and that's how I heard about this program. And now I'm working with you one-on-one. And it's just such a great synergy. And, we've been doing this for a long time. I'm just so grateful to now have a platform like a podcast to do this. You guys are amazing and you inspire me daily. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast. Hey, do me a favor. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, give us a review. This really helps a lot. And share this with a friend. I'm only one person, and with your help, we can really spread the message of self-love and sweat and change more lives all around the world. I'm Lunden Souza, reminding you that you deserve a life full of passion, presence, and purpose, fueled by self-love and sweat.